let Lizzo lift us up a little. That's how we roll. Oh, yeah, everybody gotta shine. Don't even gotta try. You guys are naturals. The baddest bitch you lie. Okay. Grab a seat. Boy, it's just hard to, turn Lizzo down. I gotta be honest. You just want to keep going. So we left off talking about your brand personality and started to get you to tune in to what is the piece or the part of you that you tend to tamp down that maybe we need to kind of let loose. Give them a little of your juice, you might even say. So that's step one to really tuning into your brand personality. Yeah, Bob Graham is like, never turn Lizzo down. I feel you, Bob. I feel you. So, what I want to share with you next is the brand personality blueprint. It's how we help you get clear on your brand archetype. So, we're going to bring up the wheel. We're going to make me small. We're going to do a what? Drop it like it's hot. No, swap it like it's hot. I know I had a cue and then I forgot it. We're going to swap it like it's hot. So, I'm little, the slide is big. And I want you to zero in the center of that slide. And you see 4 words. It says belonging, stability, freedom, and change. And those are the 4 core drivers of really anybody. But what I want you to tune in with is what is driving you in your business. When you are standing as a business leader, when you're speaking, when you're leading a meeting, when you're talking to a client, what is the number one thing that drives you? Do you want to give them change, belonging, stability, or freedom? And what that's going to do is going to take the 12 personality archetypes that, by the way, was Carl Jung is who came up with these personality archetypes. I didn't invent this. This is Carl Jung. I did study psychology. I have a degree in psychology from Loyola Marymount. Not that that's necessarily relevant, but it's how I know about all this. So we all have all of these personality types inside of us. Period. End of story. So I'm not asking you to be one-dimensional, but I am asking you to tune in to where do you lead and what do you lead with? And I see a lot of you putting your word, thank you, in the comments. By the way, can I just say how awesome all of you are? We were talking on break like, wow, the chat is blowing up. The cameras are on. You're gorgeous. You guys are energized. You're giving me good energy. So thank you for being such an awesome, awesome audience. You help me, I help you. We do it together. Okay, I know my eyes dart this way, by the way. It just means I'm looking at you. So get your word clear. More than that, your driver clear. What drives you in your business? It's often what you like to give yourself too. So I lead with change. And then you might be like, ooh, but there's like a really close second. That's fine. Think of it like, I don't know a lot about astrology, but think of it like I'm a Cancer with a Leo rising. That's probably wrong, but you know what I mean, right? So you can be change with like a belonging rising. You can kind of get a sense that maybe there's another quality that's a close second. That's okay. But we really want you to dial into that leading driver, because what it does is it takes the 12 archetypes and it narrows it down to the top 3 for you. So what we're going to do is ultimately come up with a template. So we're going to circle back to this. But the reason why you want to know your brand personality archetype is so that we can really create some consistency around how you show up online, offline, in person, your headshots, your social media, your personal style. And I'll be helping you with this. Rose is going to help you with your personal style, how you actually exhibit or express your brand physically. And a little later this afternoon, we'll have Chelsea Marie come and show you, now that you know your brand personality, how can you give yourself a little social media glow up, baby? We're going to bring it to you. But here's what this wheel looks like. And so if you felt like belonging is your core driver, you want to look at the jester, the lover, or the everyman or every woman. That would be the archetype. One of those 3 would be what you'd lead with. Now, I can give you a hint. almost no one in the business world leads with Joker. Doesn't mean you don't have any Joker. I obviously have some Joker in me. I like to goof around and have a good time, but it's not likely your leading archetype for your brand. So that's a real simple hint on belonging. But if you are in the belonging zone, let us know which one of these three is resonating for you. If you are connecting to freedom, you're going to look at being the innocent, the explorer, or the sage. Each has short descriptions next to them. The innocent is like kind of awe and faith. Melanie, where's Melanie? I believe that might be yours. Am I correct? You'll let me know in the chat. The innocent is really important. It's faith and awe and inspiration. The explorer, think of someone who's maybe driving a Jeep, literally or metaphorically, into the business world. And then the sage, you are our intellectuals. Often those of you with PhDs, you love the research. You love to like really dig in deep. And that doesn't mean you can't be an innocent who loves the research, by the way, right? We're not saying if you're not a sage, that means you don't research your topic. We're saying the leading way that you lead meetings, that you teach, that you inspire is by really digging deep into the details. You have that kind of teacher detective vibe on your topic. Dr. K, yeah, Kirsten is definitely a sage. She like really likes to get into the nooks and crannies of her topic. She has that teacher investigator vibe for sure. So you can let us know in the comments which archetype is resonating with you. And we'll give you a really fun exercise to do in a moment as well. If it's change, shake your pom-poms if you're a change maker. By the way, we all help our clients change, right? But if you lead with change, that's a different energy. So you might be a rebel like me. It's like I will stand up and I will create change even if I'm the only gal standing in the room. I don't enjoy it, but I will do it, right? Change makers. Heroes, it's similar energy, but it's a little more like I'm going to save the day vibes. And then we have our magicians. And you also love to facilitate change, but it's a more spiritual, transformative vibe. Mac, for instance, even though it's a technology company, has a magician brand. It has magical, kind of mysterious ways that it helps change the world through technology. You might do it through being a wealth expert or through a branding expert. Lots of different ways you can embody your brand. So we helped Rob Schultz really vibe up his brand. He was behind the scenes helping market leaders, seven-figure leaders, as sort of their marketing guru. Again, behind the scenes, quiet. Nobody saw him. You only knew him if you were kind of in his little inner circle, and helped him with his brand archetype and his system so that he got known for his own content. A lot of you know Rob, who've been around the Speak, Serve, Grow world for a while, but he absolutely slayed his sales in that first year just from getting clarity around how he needed to show up. Again, already knew his expertise. It was about packaging that in a way where now he could stand up and be the guy versus being the guy behind the gal or guy. Hopefully that makes sense. So let us know in the comments what your main number one archetype is. And if you have a secondary archetype, that is also fine. So you can see this is an older banner of ours, but just so you can see kind of how I have embodied my brand in different ways through the years. But my brand archetype has always been leading with the rebel and then like a secondary every woman, meaning even if we were in a ballroom, all of us together right now, I'm not untouchable. That is not my brand. I would go through, high five you in the audience, give you a big hug. That's how I like to roll. Not everybody does, totally fine. But what's important is that we know how you roll and we package that so that people get it really quickly. Also on this slide is my friend Andrea Hess. She's a business buddy of mine for many years. We had booths next to each other at a live event. I think back in 2011, we've been friends ever since. She has the magician archetype. So she has a kind of a spiritual business. She's an amazing seven-figure leader, but she transforms with that kind of mystical, magical vibe around everything that she does. And you can see that's embodied not only in her font, in her colors, even though I have purple and she has purple. Notice the very different energy behind our brands. So know that even if you share similar colors, even if you share an archetype with somebody, if we're doing this correctly, the way you embody it is going to be completely different than how somebody else does. Okay. So Wendy's saying, I think we're cousins. Yes, exactly. Rebel every woman jester. We are kissing cousins, except without the kissing part. And I'm making it weird again. Okay, moving on. Colleen Suchecki, she's a Speak, Serve, Grow OG and one of the originals. She came through the first version of Command Any Room, the first version of our group coaching program, did an amazing job. But you can see at the top, that was the banner she came in with. You can see on the right side, that is her kind of revamped look. Now, I used this example because, oh, I'm so glad you're so excited, Sandra. That makes me happy. What I want you to notice is Colleen is wearing a black dress in both pictures. She's wearing a necklace in both pictures. She has blonde hair in both pictures. But if you can see the difference, just give me like a pom pom or hands in the air. Are you guys seeing the major difference? Yeah. Oops, I might have just turned everything off, and sorry about that. I broke the system with my pom pom. Hold, please. We'll figure that out. But here's what I want you to tune into, because you can still see that picture, I'm sure, in your mind's eye. She's wearing the same thing, hair is the same elements, but she's wearing it with a different energy. And the black dress in the first shot is slightly less tailored, it's slightly less authoritative. The necklace she chose went from being cute to being a little more authoritative. Even the styling of her hair, we kicked it up a notch. Why? Colleen is naturally really bubbly and cute. That's her default. We needed to elevate her authority. So again, the choices you make may seem subtle on really one hand, that's fine, and may have a really big effect on the other side. So one thing, what is the everyman? Good question, Sam. So the everyman or the everywoman is accessible. Think about Levi's jeans. I might be, no, that is that every man or every woman? Think about someone in the chat hit me with a good example of an every woman brand besides me. Because I'll tell you one thing is sometimes when I'm delivering, my brain doesn't think of examples. I'm like, it's in there. Oh, and oh yeah. So Fenty, The Gap for sure. Old Navy, Chaka Khan. I love Chaka Khan. So every woman or every man means you like to give people a sense of belonging and you are accessible. Again, if we look at our industry, an example in difference would be if we were in a ballroom together, like I said, I would come down into the audience, I'd high five you, it would all be good. If you went to a Brendon Burchard event, you would not be meeting him unless you paid probably $1,000 to go into a VIP room. And that's always been the case with his events. Now that's, again, that's not right or wrong. That's a different brand positioning statement that we're making. His is a little more untouchable. Mine is a little more accessible. So that is the every man or every woman. What did I miss, Core? The Chaka Khan answer. I know, I was like, is she an every woman? Now I will say I met Chaka Khan once in my life and I was pretty excited about that. Oh, every woman. Katie, we need you to do the singing part. Now I'm getting it. That makes so much more sense. I'm like, she is untouchable. No, but her song is I'm Every Woman. No, Tony Robbins is not an everyman. No, no, I wouldn't say so. Okay, I can read your thoughts right now from A to Z. I love it. I love it. Okay, so raise your hand if you need help identifying what your brand personality archetype is. And I believe that in the chat, they're letting you know how to do that. It's something called reactions. We love Core, right? So Core was on a webinar with Raina, and I can remember their names. And I did a lot of webinars leading up to this event. I can remember their names because of how they showed up. And it's a really great example of you can be in the audience and stand out at the same time. They both showed up with such phenomenal energy, cameras on, in the chat box, just being total rock stars. I will remember them for an ever and ever. Amen. So how you show up really does make a really big difference. Oh, I'll keep sitting. I keep changing my stance. Okay. So Brenda needs to think about this. That's fine. Marley, let's unmute Miss Marley if we can, because it sounds like she could use a little help.
What's up, Kristen?
Hi, Marley. How are you, sister?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good.
This is kind of fun. Hey, everybody.
Fun. So tell me, where are you? Where did you get? Did you? Okay, make a sentence. Were you able to whittle it down to your core driver?
I feel like it's hard to pick one.
To that slide.
It's hard to pick one.
So if I forced you,
let's just say
I came into your house and with your consent, threatened you with violence and said, you have to give up 3 and you can only keep 1. You can only hold on to 1 in your hot little hands. Which one would you never surrender?
Probably belonging.
Belonging. There we go. So that's what it takes for me too, because I'm like, I want all of them. It's like, but you can only hold on to 1.
It's tough because I'm like, I also love freedom. And then I talk a lot about, the change one is all about like transformation, right? But I think it's that belonging piece is probably number 1.
So when you're speaking, when you're teaching a class, or when you're just really comfortable, you're maybe inspiring people, above all else, you would want to give them a sense of belonging.
Yes.
Okay.
It's hard. I'm letting go of the other ones because I'm like, I also want to change their life, and I also want them to have like
will change their lives. Yeah, and you will. You'll change their lives also, so you get to keep that. You get to keep all of it. It's all in your bag of tricks. What we're really getting at is like the tone of how you lead, right? The tone. So belonging, and so is it every woman? The kind of every man, every woman of those 3 under belonging?
I mean, I feel like there's a piece of that. I mean, there's the jester nature of me that I'm like, I'm playful. I would say it's like, adventurous. I'm a connector.
If I was going to guess, and I mean, we don't know each other super well, like we know each other via Facebook, but just for other people on the Zoom, we're not like best friends hanging out all the time. But I see your social media. I know what you're about. And just my gut is you're an every woman explorer. Because you are about adventure, and you're even physically, like, you like to get out into nature. You like to go take people on big like retreats. You do adventurous things, but it's also like your take on business and growth too, I imagine.
Yeah.
So I would go with a combo, like every woman explorer combo pack, knowing that there's still change. You can still be funny. All those other elements, think of those as like sprinkles on your sundae. You still keep them.
Totally.
But they are the sprinkles. They're not the everything. Does that make sense?
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that for you. But more importantly, do you love that for you?
Yeah. I mean, I think that there's this idea of, being relatable and saying like, hey, you're not alone. You're not, you don't have to figure it all out by yourself. And that is that sense of like people feeling, again, that sense of belonging and feeling supported, but also feeling like you have the freedom to explore what's possible. And freedom is like my number 1 value. So freedom, adventure, play, all of that.
So you figure out which one you want to lead with more, but it's definitely the explorer every woman combo. And then you can decide the order, because it kind of doesn't matter. What matters is that it feels right to you.
Totally.
And it just is going to simplify your choices, but there's no wrong way to do it, right? It's just going to help you get clarity as you begin to express your brand going forward.
Love it.
I love it. Good job. Everybody give Marley a big you rock in the comments. I love it. And did we have someone else who needed a little extra help there? Amanda R. Hi, Amanda.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Good to see you.
Great to be here. That was helpful listening to you go through that with her. I just relate to them all, and I can't really decide. I keep trying to decide, and I'm having trouble.
Yeah. Well, so I think what's really important is to remind your brain, because our brain kind of resists this, because we think I'm all of these things, I'm all of these things. So you have to, this is the part of our brain that's like playing a little bit of a game on us. And we have to tell our brain back, I love you and you are all of these things. And you get to keep all of these things. We just want to find like the hook, the leading place where people could connect with you. And so I'll ask you the same question I asked Marley, which is if I forced you, like by some serious threat of some kind, that you had to give up 3 and you can only grasp onto 1, which one would you never, ever surrender?
Freedom.
Freedom. Awesome.
Yeah.
And are you more, is it more like awe and inspiration and faith? Is it more like breaking new ground and adventures? Or is it more really deeply understanding your topic and digging into the details?
So I guess that's the problem, is that I'm a bit torn in what I'm doing. I'm doing something, I'm very successful at it, but it's not exactly what I want to be talking about. So maybe that's why I need to think about them separately.
Yeah, because this is more like, it is a little, it's not so much what you talk about, but how you talk about it and how, and the energy with which you talk about it. So, and you don't have to figure it out right this second, but really start to sink into confidently. And one way just for everybody to imagine, to get clear on this, is to imagine you're in your living room. And let's say like your best friends, like the friends where there's no passive aggressive anything, right? They just like love you 100% for who you actually are. And let's say you're really jazzed about a topic that you're into. It could be the topic that your business is built around. And you're standing up and you're just like going off. You're telling a story or you're sharing something you read about it or a movie you watched on the topic. You're like completely in your comfort zone. Where would you land on this wheel then as you speak about your area of expertise?
I guess the sage one.
Yeah, the innocent.
Deep.
And what is your topic? As best as you know at this moment.
I help people in workshops like this to get their finances in order, and I sell e-courses in business, legal, accounting, and taxes, which is not my passion.
Okay.
So, but that's so yeah, thinking about it from just my passion side, which is more of a coaching side. So that would be more like, I think the sage, and like I'm very intuitive, maybe like magician.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
I think I just need to focus on what I want to be doing and not worry about the other stuff that's working.
Yeah. And you can bring the same brand. I mean, you can bring a sage magician brand to wealth building. You totally can. You can be the same person and show up with the same awesome magical energy. It's part of what will distinguish you. But yeah, while you're here, like let's just put your energy into where you want to go next, because it's going to be the most fun and it'll probably lead you to more money as well. So I love that. Everybody give Amanda a big you rock. It is brave to unmute and come up on the screen. And so we appreciate all of you doing that. And I see a lot of your comments saying, this is so helpful. So if you've had an aha around your brand, would you raise your hand? I see Stephanie Wallace putting her hands in the air like she just don't care. Stephanie Wallace. Let's hear from Stephanie what her aha has been so far.
Hi, everybody. So the aha part was just trying to match the market all the time instead of just being like who I am, like looking at the market first and just like, oh, I should be that, leading with that. And of course I'm uncomfortable with it because it's not me, you know, it's not leading from here, it's leading from up here, all my head knowledge. And people are attracted to heart, vulnerability, the realness and authenticity of who I am. So leading with that, I will reach more, impact more, do more. My bank account will grow more, you know? So that was the biggest aha for sure.
I love that. And where did you land? What are you feeling in terms of your brand archetype or the combo that you feel like you want to lead with?
Sage and magician with a little bit of rebel in there.
I love it. A little sprinkle of rebel on top. I love that because we've met, right? We had lunch together in Palm Springs, and that totally nails you because you're the sage. Because if I remember, you do wealth building and like you're like super, you know how to do investing, right?
Yeah. Health coaching, actually. Yeah, health coaching.
What? Wait, was that what you were doing there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm completely mixing my brain up then. Okay, so health coaching. And so do you love just like geeking out on all of the details of that?
I love it. I love research. I love reading books about it. I love coming with the actual factuals of what's happening in the industry, but then also attaching the nakedness of a person and what's going on with them and matching the two to get the result.
I love that. I love that. And you nailed it when you said, because I bet you a lot of other people are relating to this, that you were kind of trying to match the market. And those early pictures that we were all giggling at of me are me trying to match the market, right? Mm-hmm. And even when I first started to uncover my true brand and my true self, my very first coach, who was a great coach, by the way, but the one thing that she said that was pretty off was, you know how you need to dress and how you need to show up, Kristen, you should be presenting yourself like Allie Brown. You know, like you're a pretty girl. Get that dress on, put those platform heels on, you know? And I'm like, that's not me. It's beautiful. It's great. Rock it out if that's your vibe. But for me, it would be like stuffing me into a costume, right? So same for you. The more you can be Stephanie, the more you can bring that sage and that transformation, that magician vibe, sprinkling that special sauce with that little dash of sassy rebel. That's what's going to really let you pop. And also, it's the thing that will magnetize you to your most ideal clients. Mm-hmm. So I love that. Everybody give Stephanie a big you rock, and good to see you again, by the way. Yeah. Huge. It's like it's a little aha. That's a big aha, if that makes sense to you guys. Meaning when you can notice that you've been mimicking a market leader, it might be you're talking tougher than you normally do, or you're trying to be more spiritual than you normally are. Whatever it is, if you can let it go and just be more you, you will magnetize your most ideal clients. And when you're sitting in your living room, like I am right now, or standing on a big stage with bright lights, you'll be more relaxed. Like you can still have normal nerves. I'm a little nervous today. That's fine. But what I'm not doing right now in this moment is putting any energy into me. Like, can you guys feel that? Like, I'm not sitting here like, you know, putting on weird faces and putting on an act. Like, I'm me in my living room and I'm putting all of my energy into you. I'm tuning into what you need. I'm tuning into the content. But there is zero energy going into my ego, meaning like how am I being perceived? Am I to this? Am I to that? Because if I'm putting my energy into that right now, I'm not focused on you. So one of the biggest ahas that I had that helped this piece transform for me, how do you be yourself in front of a room? And how do you brand yourself as yourself? Easier said than done. I was driving on the way to a talk. Those of you who are local, I was on Highway 26 heading into downtown Portland through that beautiful stretch where you just hit that big green forest right before you hit downtown, just stunning. And self-obsessing, right? I'm like, oh, I'm to this. Oh, what if they don't like me? Oh, what if I don't sell anything? Oh, just having a complete freak out. And I don't know if it was my higher self or the voice of God or an angel or whatever it is that you might believe, but I'm just telling you, it was like, oh, this voice came down and said, stop obsessing about you. And I was like, oh, well, that's rude. And then I was like, damn, like it was harsh. I mean, I don't know if you've ever had an awakening that you gave yourself that felt harsh, but it was harsh. Because I realized, wow, this is crazy. All these years of self-obsession of I'm not pretty enough, I'm not tall enough, I'm not skinny enough, I'm not cool enough, whatever the I'm not enoughness is me putting so much energy in and about myself. That is not what I'm about in my heart. That is not how I would describe myself. I wouldn't say I'm a selfish, self-obsessed person, but guess what? In that moment, that's what I was doing. So that voice that said, stop talking and thinking about you, reminded me and re-anchored me to what my actual purpose is and what I actually want to be doing, which is helping other people. So if you've been stuck on yourself and worried that you're too this or too that, is totally normal. You're human just like me. But I hope that this conversation today is beginning to kind of crack open the door to say, you know what? If I surrender that, I will have more energy to pour into my clients. I can let go of being perfect and just be perfectly, imperfectly you. And on that note, I want to introduce one of my favorite clients and friends, and I'm also a client of her, and it's Miss Rose Jubb, because one of the things that came up for me as soon as I figured out my brand personality archetype and I got, okay, I'm a rebel, I'm an every woman, so I'm accessible, but I'm kind of edgy. What in the world does that look like? I have no idea, because I don't know how to articulate that in the physical, real world. So I invited my client and my good friend Rose Jubb to join us today to help me help you with your brand style. So Rose is an image consultant, a style expert, and a visibility coach who not only works with personal clients online and off, by the way, but also developed an entire platform called Style Class. It helps people, women mostly, and men, dial in your style and your personal brand from the comfort of your own home. And we'll talk a little bit more about her journey tomorrow and how we virtualized her business. But I want you to know that her international membership site, her book, her podcast, her courses, and her sessions are complemented by her new makeover show. If you haven't checked it out, watch it tonight. It's called Closet Goals. It's on Amazon. It is the cutest show ever. And I invited her here today, now that you know your brand personality archetype, so that she can show you how to show that off in person, on stage, in your videos, in your Facebook Lives, even when you're momming it up at the store or dadding it up at the store or hanging out with your friends. How do you rock your personal brand style? Let me turn it over to the one, the only, the amazing Miss Rose Jubb.
Hi, thank you so much. I'm like, my cheeks hurt from that introduction. That was too sweet. That was too nice. Oh my goodness. Hi, everybody. Oh, everybody in the comments, you're so cute. Housekeeping thing. Somebody just started jackhammering outside my house. So if that becomes a problem, I will plug in headphones and totally do it that way. Can you guys hear anything funny? Give me like a 1 in the comments if everything is okay. Well, I share my screen.
I don't know if she
I am pumped. Okay, all good, great. I'm going to share a little presentation just because sometimes in style, visuals help. Funny how that works. Enter full screen. Yeah, I want to see the chat. We're going to pull up that chat so I can see your questions if you have any, or your participation. Awesome. Thank you so much for that introduction. That was awesome. I love working with Kristen because of the every woman vibe she has. I connected with her right away on that, and she kicks my butt when I need it, and I'm so happy that she invited me to work or to speak today. So I'm going to talk to you about brand style buzz. And what is that? It is feeling the buzz of being truly confident in yourself, but knowing that you're doing the right thing for yourself and your business when you show up and cause a buzz as well, whether that's online or in person. And obviously, you can cause a buzz online because I am not broadcasting from Barbie's dream house. I am in my studio, which is in my garage. So you can cause a buzz online with your image the way you show up and feel good about you. And let's talk about how we do that, okay? All right, let's talk about what you already have. A lot of stylists might take the approach, not all of them, everybody's getting better, of like mean girling a little bit. That is anti-Rose Jubb. Like, I don't want to mean girl anybody ever, 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 because I was mean girled once upon a time. And let's talk about what you already have, okay? You already have, oh, it doesn't want to do it when I don't click. There we go. You already have a personal style. What? Congratulations, you got one. Do you use it? I don't know. We're going to find out. Everybody has a personal style because how you show up in the world is your style. You are putting something on. If it's hoodies and sweatpants, hoodies and sweatpants is your style, my friend. You cannot opt out, unfortunately, of having a personal style. And you can also not really opt out of having a brand for your business. Chelsea Marie is going to blow your socks off when it comes to talking about branding. And guess what? You have one of those too. If you are a highly visible person, industries like speaking, being an author, being a podcaster, being a coach, being a consultant, anything where you are the face of the business, okay? You are in a highly visible position and you have a personal style you're showing up with and you have a brand. But when you really get intentional about how those two things are mixing together, that's brand style. And there's a reason that in this Venn diagram, yes, I know what it's called. I am a giant dork. Welcome to Barbie's dorky dream house. The reason that where they overlap, green, it's green, because that's when you start to make the money. When you show up as yourself, but at the right formality levels for the right activities, that is where the right people start getting attracted to you, okay? So let's do a little game of true or false. You can write this down. I would love if you put it in the comments. True or false, I have a clearly defined brand style. I have thought about it and I have one. All right, true or false again, I have defined looks for every opportunity and occasion in my life. And it's okay to say true too. I'm not trying to like trick you into saying false for everything. And true or false, I proudly send people to my social media or my website because I am happy with how my personal brand is reflected. No website shame, no apologies before they even get to your Instagram. Right, sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. Okay. We're gonna get it rocking so you don't have to apologize anymore and you feel really good, all right? So what are the brand style ABCs? These are all the whys of why we're doing this. An intentional brand style helps you attract ideal leads, partners, collaborations, speaking gigs. It helps you build brand authority in the market so everybody knows that you're the expert in this area. Subconsciously, they know in a glance that whatever she's about to talk about, she's an expert in it, okay? And the confidence for the close. That's that internal, this is the foundation. It should be number one, but that's just not how the ABCs work. It doesn't go CBA, ABC. There you go. Writer downer. The confidence for the close. So when you feel amazing, you start to know deep in your soul, you rest in knowing that you've got this. You are the expert. Those little voices in your ear that are other people, really, other voices that are saying you're not good enough or you're not a big enough expert or you need another degree or you need another program or you need another need. Those get a lot more quiet when you can uncover some confidence in yourself. A little about me, so you don't know I'm just like a random person that has a TV show about style. I have a background in style and marketing and psychology. I didn't know you have a degree in psychology, Kristen. That's another thing we have in common. So I have a background in style from the day one. One of my first memories is fighting with my mom about which Minnie Mouse t-shirt I was going to wear to the first day of kindergarten. You'll see in the next photo, I lost and I had to wear a dress. I'm still upset about it. But I actually was very good at art, went to design school, worked in marketing for many years before that last economic downturn where I got laid off. And I went back to school for psychology because the inner workings of the human mind are very interesting to me. And I love science. So I went all the way through and got my master's degree in social science, quickly had my son and decided to pivot back to style where I knew that I could make a difference when I started working with people that had businesses. And when I saw their confidence bloom and them step into themselves, like owning their quirks, all that good stuff, when I saw that, it gave me a buzz too. You get the buzz, I get the buzz, we all get the buzz. If you look under your seats, there's buzz. That's an Oprah joke. Can't hear you laughing, but I'm gonna assume you are. All right, I'm from the Midwest, grew up on a hobby farm, not the normal stylist kind of upbringing. Again, that is the dress I had to wear to the first day of kindergarten, and I'm still upset about it. So who's this? I gave you a clue. When I see this client of mine, I see somebody that was super, I mean, she's a cutie pie, obviously. She had braces, she was hiding, she was 14, she was 6 feet tall in 9th grade. And the sad part is she had ADHD so badly that she would go to those science classes that she loved so much and wake up 50 minutes later with a notepad full of doodles and not really no science. And so I'll just spoil it for you. It's me. That client is me, actually. And I did struggle with so much ADHD that school was very, very, very hard for me. And it was just enough. It was just enough. I was standing above everybody else, a good foot taller than every boy. And in that exact science class, one boy started picking on me and calling me fatty, even though I was most obviously not. And I think the reason I tell this story is not to boo-hoo it, but we have all had all these judgments and rules thrown at us from the time we were little, whether it's out of love by family members who think they're helping, or from society and magazines and TV shows and all sorts of things. Tall girl solidarity, that's right, I see your comments. We all have that thrown at us. And at some point you start believing it. And he called me fatty long enough that I started believing it. And not that I thought I was fat, I just thought something was definitely physically wrong with me. And I wasn't smart either. So, I mean, what's the use with me? So I had very low confidence. It was very sad. I let go of all my passion for fashion, just kind of tried to blend in and just did what everybody said I should. Anybody is that ringing a bell for anybody? Doing a lot of the shoulds. Not so fun and not a great way to go through life. So somebody saw potential in me. It was my dad. There's a reason I have Epiphone tattooed on my wrist. It's because he gave me his 47 Cortez, his Epiphone Cortez. And I decided I was going to take lessons, and I found out I could sing. And then I started just auditioning for cover bands, and I was in cover bands for many years, and my confidence grew and grew and grew. And this wallflower that went from just literally just painting flowers on walls to and doing really nothing else, to divorcing the person that was wrong for her in her early 20s, and getting on stages and singing and dancing and having so much fun. And I gained confidence. And I'm telling you, the more I stepped into myself, the more I blossomed and went down the path that was right for me. And I think everybody can do the same thing. I think you can start this too. So in the comments, I would love you to tell me, who is the #1 person to impress and influence that we need to, as entrepreneurs, impress and influence? Who's the #1 person? You're getting it. You're so smart. I can't trick you. It is you. That's right. But also, who is the #1 person that can tank and destroy our business? Bing bong. Yes, us, you, me, you. I'm doing a Kristen. So give me a yes in the comments if you can agree that if just for today, you can decide that your confidence and you putting yourself out there and attracting the right people that love that vibe is more important than what other people think, the people that don't get it. You can do it. Confidence over compliments. It's a great thing to write down. Now I'm going to share with you 3 or 4, depending on time, tricks and tips to help you start getting an image out there, to align that image with where you're going, not where you've been, not where you're at, where you're going. You're not going to be putting on a costume. You're not going to be faking it till you make it. You're going to be dressing as you, just the most successful, badass version of yourself, okay? So it all starts with brand style clarity. And what is that? When you are highly visible, this is one of my past clients, a before and after, went from doing an at-home business where nobody saw her to being the face of something. And all these clothes were in her closet, which was the funnest thing. When you get very clear about your style and your identity, you have gotten brand style clarity, because you need to know who you are to be the face of this brand. And if you try to fake it, they will smell it every time. If you try to be something because of the type of industry you're in, if you try to be very serious because you're an accountant, but you actually have like a jester fun personality, that's not going to cut it, because they will sniff it out every time. It will feel inauthentic because you will feel inauthentic delivering it in that identity, okay? Low confidence always equals low visibility, and you'll sabotage yourself every time. And what leads to low confidence? All sorts of things, but not being yourself is number one. Uncovering your confidence allows you this visibility. The goal is that you want to be the most you can possibly muster, take off all the restrictions with some polish based on the formality of the activities that you're participating in. You want to attract people that love you for you, right? I want that for you too. Let's do it. Okay. So simply put, confidence is just the absence of self-doubt. And I only put this in here because there's a lot of ladies in the house, and we are held to a much higher standard for, that's kind of, I mean, it's not a joke, but it's laughable because it's a standard that's beyond, compared to the males in society about our appearance. A lot of our value is wrapped up in that, and we internalize it and make it about us not fitting the clothes instead of the clothes not being built for us. So the absence of self-doubt is confidence. And the reason I put a cute little baby in here is because we are born with a certain amount of confidence. Have you ever seen a kid amazed at their own hands when they're a baby? They're just like, oh my God, they don't care about the rolls on their thighs or the cute little dimples on their knuckles. They don't care about that. They think their bodies are amazing. But then, like I said, people, society, magazines, mothers, grandmothers, sisters, friends, they start handing you these rule books, okay? And we need to get rid of that. Could say, we don't wear our hair curly. Or it could say, we don't wear white pants in this family because our thighs are too thick. Or we don't go out in public without makeup on because that's not what a lady does, okay? We gotta get rid of those books. Being yourself fully is the way back to clearing those away. You can keep the love. They were given probably out of love. You can get rid of the rule though, all right? I love seeing the comments go by. Too bad I'm not wearing my glasses. This is my hero client, Christine. Quickly, this is her in her 20s, successful, hardworking, amazing mindset, and 6 figures before she was 25. Great, right? She had a kiddo and her mindset just collapsed. She didn't realize how much of her confidence was all wrapped up in the way clothes fit her. And when they didn't fit her anymore, this was like heartbreaking and very hard for her. She was not attracting the right clients because she was trying to be this person over here, but not putting that energy out. And she needed some help. So we went shopping and something happened with that one top in that headshot. Something cracked open and she realized that she could be herself and it could fit her like a glove, and it doesn't have to hide her hips. It doesn't have to. She can just wear them proudly and be polished at the same time and feel good. And it snapped. And I'll tell you, her confidence improved, her self-care improved, her boundaries improved, she attracted better clients, and overall her life improved. It was an amazing transformation to see. And I love sharing her story because it didn't just stop with the clothing, because she kept on sending me selfies of her haircuts, and it got shorter on the sides and then shorter up here, and then swoosh. And this felt like her. And it might not be everybody's style, but it was her style. And she felt the most like her. And what did she do? She quit her business. It wasn't hers anymore. She didn't feel good in it. And are you ready for her final glow up? She went down to Silicon Valley and landed in an amazing position and is climbing the ladder very quickly because she just showed up. No experience in that industry at all, but amazing confidence and know-how in the skills they needed. Ba-bam. It's a cool glow up. Yeah. So the true you equals true confidence. And when you are willing to get visible because of that confidence, you start putting that brand style out there. My biggest tip is to find your style island. If you are on a map, I'm going to make sure I see my timer. Yep. If you are on a map, I want you to find your style island. And I'll give you a tool for that in a moment. You're gonna find your style, and then instead of freaking out, give me a 1 in the comments if you've ever freaked out before a big event. I just gotta go shopping and get something new. That'll help. If you freak out and go buy something, you will buy something that's not yours. It might look great and confident on Rachel Hollis or Oprah or Brene Brown, but on you, it's just going to be a jacket, and it's not your style. So you won't it doesn't come with the confidence that they have. Check your receipts. It's not on there. What you want to do is stay on your style island. The next time you get nervous, just say, okay, I know there are items at every level of formality in my style. Just know, I know it is. They're out there. So you're just going to climb that mountain of formality. All right? Could be any number of events, but you're going to stay on your island and climb that mountain, okay? The next tip I have for you is all about your wardrobe. And that's an all-encompassing word. I don't say closet. It's a grab and go closet kind of situation. I don't want you saying I have nothing to wear, because it usually means nothing feels like me or nothing fits. And we don't want either of those things. You know how I feel about bullies. I don't like them. So we're not gonna let the bullies chill in your closet anymore, okay? No more bullies in your closet. Those bullies are the jeans that don't fit unless you lose 10, 20, 30, 50 pounds. Every time your eyes go past items that don't fit, we have been so hardwired to need to be smaller, to need to be this or that by society and lots of other voices, that we suck that into our little brains as girls or men sometimes too. And we will chastise ourselves subconsciously for not fitting in those jeans that are staring at you from the bar. And we don't need that. It's hard enough getting dressed. Get the bullies out of your closet. I don't care if you have to donate them. I don't care if you think you're gonna fit in them someday. We can talk about that later. I don't care if you think that. Get them out of your line of sight, okay? Big, bad tip. It's real powerful, okay? Platform style blueprint. This step, and these are the 4 steps I go through with my clients personally, my group clients, in my book, all the things. So platform style blueprint is all about finding something specifically for you for every level of activity, okay? The goal is to feel very confident showing up in the world, no matter the event. No matter if you're going for a walk with your friends, or you're going to the gym. I've landed clients at the gym, by the way, or lots of other places, all the way up to formal work events. You want to have something that you know. I'm gonna, there's 3 platforms. Write these down because it's a good activity for later, but we won't go through it right now. So the 3 platforms you have to worry about are in person for work, and leave some space when you're writing them down, online, and everyday life. I just covered your entire life in 3 areas. Under those 3 things, when you're writing this down, leave space for 3 activities you do for in-person for work, 3 activities you do for online, and 3 activities that are important for your business in everyday life. places you've gotten referrals, collaborations, clients, leads, that kind of thing. And think about exact outfits that you could wear in those 3 areas, because the goal is to know if somebody said, if Kristen said, hey, I lost a speaker for the event and I really need your help. You got 15 minutes. Could you be on stage? Or you have an audition, or you have an interview. Right, exactly. Oh boy, do you know what you're gonna wear? Because I don't want you stressing about that. I want you standing in your expertise. And if you're worried about how you look, you're not going to do that. Okay, so develop distinct looks for every level of opportunity in your life. Okay, we'll get to a styling tip at the end, and if we don't get to it, I have a special secret surprise for you in my sponsor booth, so please pop on by. Raina came and did it, so it's kind of fun. So I have a little gift for you just for coming, and I want you to get off on a good start when it comes to this whole brand style thing. And the foundation is, of course, your confidence, but you got to get the bullies out of your closet before that's really going to shine. So this little mini course that I am gifting you called Hack Your Closet is yours free today. You can just go to, after this is over, okay? thebuzzgift.com, or a separate window maybe, thebuzzgift.com, and just snag your mini course. I usually sell it for about $50 on my website, $350 value when it comes to like me actually getting in there, 3 simple videos, lots of helpful downloads. But you got to make space for the new you, baby. What am I going to say? You're up leveling today. It's time for everything to up level. And for the non-DIYers out there, I've got you covered if you're like, I can't do another program without accountability or something to help me. Okay, if you want to stop saying I have nothing to wear, if you want to stop saying forget it, I'm not even going, if you want to stop saying I feel gross, have you ever said I feel gross in the closet and it comes to tears? Almost every client I've worked with has come to tears in their own closet over just the frustration. If you are completely done with that and you're ready to get visible to start attracting those ideal leads, building that brand authority, yes, and uncovering the confidence you already have underneath there, I have something called Brand Style Buzz for you, okay? And I'm very excited about it because it's like the culmination of all the things I've done in my business in one pretty little package for you. I want to give you that buzz, and I'm going to get the buzz helping you. So it includes all of my courses on closets, sure. Style education, sure. But the real meaty, juicy bits are the personal branding, the marketing bits, a whole training library of over 60 different videos from mindset to marketing to social media, all about how your image and how you can like up level to get to that next step, okay? There's a private group. There, you get a virtual closet like in Clueless. Anybody remember that? Give me a 1 in the comments if you remember Clueless, the movie, when she had that digital closet. You get one. And my book sent to you. You'll know, people will know you in a glance. You'll have the support of me in the private group and a dialed in image where you know your identity. You can stand in that. You can get dressed once and not think about it for the rest of the day. All right. It's $2,500 value. I retail this for $9.95, and there's a 3-pay available because I know, you know, sometimes that's helpful. So I like to be helpful, but I have a $1,500 bonus for you for seeing this today. I really want this to make an impact for you. I want you to come away with hard results, and I want you to have accountability. And sometimes that takes somebody on the other end of the line. So I am going to include 90 days of weekly live consults where we all in the group get on, and you can ask anything from how do I tuck in this shirt the right way to does my Facebook image align with my website, and like how I'm losing people here or I'm losing people there and I'm not sure what is not aligning, and like bigger high level image strategy, which is quite valuable for your business. That is over $4,000 in resources, and I am super pumped to offer it to Kristen's group for $750. And there's still a 3 fave available, but you will get a special gift today and during this 3-day event. If you sign on, it's only good while the event is happening because it is kind of a big deal. And a special gift will be yours if you end up signing on full price. So use the code BUZZ at thebuzzoffer.com. You know, separate window. You want to stay for the rest of this, but separate window. And if you are if you feel like your VIP status and you need a little higher touch, you want that personal shopping that isn't included in that, you want a little more like a full lookbook out of everything in your closet that like outlines exactly what you should be wearing to different activities, that is a higher level service that I do provide. And you can just book a chat with me about that at mystyleclass.com/chat. All right, you've seen that. Now, very quickly, my pro styling tip, easy peasy. The goal is to know how to put together outfits in a hurry, right? This is my polish formula. It is a guide, not a rule. I'm not gonna hand you another rule book. We've got enough of those. It's a guideline, and it's an easy one to get into your closet and out of your closet very quickly. It is simply this. It is a base outfit plus accessories plus a finishing piece. I know it sounds simplistic, but when your brain is in that frantic, stressed out mode, lots of scientific terms for it, let's just call it stress mode. When your brain is in stress mode, you need simple. Write this on a marker on your mirror. Base outfit plus accessories plus a finishing piece. Now, what's a finishing piece? It's a jacket, it's a blazer, it's a cardigan. There's finishing pieces for every style. This is Kristen last year, and I styled her for that. It's a top she never would have tried on before, but I said we can give it like a Stevie Nicks kind of Aerosmith vibe if we don't tie the bow, just let it. So her base outfit was a blouse and cool coated jeans. Accessories were, I think, earrings and bracelets that day, and a finishing piece was the jacket. And she had really cool boots on too. That you can't see, but that's a very simple way. You don't have to have a finishing piece every day. I don't have a finishing piece today, but I think I'm standing out. My best tips from today: find your style island, stick to it even when you have to go up in formality. Personal branding, the base is always confidence. So know in your heart who you are and what you're doing and why you're doing it, and dress accordingly, okay? You already have style and a brand, but are they intentionally attracting ideal leads, building your brand's authority, and uncovering that confidence I know you have? All right, guys. I hope, even if I don't see you in my booth, I hope you do come to my booth. It's just there's a sponsor link in there, but even if I don't see you in there, or even if you just took a few tidbits away, just know that I am cheering for you. And I just know you have so much to offer, and I want you to get visible to be able to offer it, okay? So thank you so much.
Yay, Rose. Amazing. Rose job. Give her a big woo woo in the comments. And you can see this jacket. Let's see. Can you see the bling on this jacket? Bling, 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 bling. These are the kinds of style choices that I get to make thanks to Rose's help. So someone said, what about the guys? Well, truly everything she said pertains to male, female. That's neither here nor there. It's about you understanding what is your style, which Rose calls your style island. She can help you get clear on what that is. You already have a head start by knowing your brand personality archetype. That gives you kind of a direction to head in, right? So that's number one. Number two, she shared the tip, think about the activities where you're showing up and getting visible. So you want to have looks for casual knocking about town, you're in your house, when you're doing a webinar or a casual Facebook Live, leading classes, all the way up to stage looks. And what I can tell you from my own personal experience, as I shared earlier, is like I knew what my brand was. I didn't know what that meant in terms of my personal style. So whether it's Rose or another stylist that resonates with you, it is really helpful if you're going to be visible to take a moment to think about What do you need to clear out? What do you need to pull in? And how can you template those looks so that when an opportunity comes your way, when you decide you want to go live, when someone invites you up on stage, you can have a grab and go look. And that's that virtual closet that Rose talked about. It's amazing. So she actually takes your whole closet, pieces you have and pieces you don't have, and like makes entire looks for you so that you know, here's a stage look, here's a casual look. It's awesome. So a couple things I wanted to mention before we break for lunch. Number one, on your lunch break, definitely go to Rose's booth on the event homepage, and Jen and or Katie can pop that link in the chat. You can also, you have that link in your email. When you go back to the event homepage, you've got the sponsor area. You can just go visit Rose. You'll have access to her free gift there with a really easy clickable link. You'll have access to her program. Again, it is normally a $1,500 program. The lowest she sells it for is $1,000. I asked her to give a very special discount just to those of you who want to hop in and get her support. Or if you want to talk to her one-on-one, she can literally personally style you, which she does for me because I'm visible much throughout the year. I really need her kind of at my beck and call. I have her in my back pocket. A lot of my clients hire her as well. Even if you're not sure, just go visit her, connect, get her free gifts because I know she has a special one at her booth. Okay, couple of other things before we break for lunch. There is a profit seat form that is also on the event home site. So tomorrow evening, there is a very special bonus evening session. There are two things we do in that evening session. It's about a 90-minute session after dinner. We do live coaching, kind of like talk or revenue makeovers live. And I teach you my special memory strategies for dropping your notes and commanding any talk from memory. Raise your hand if you have ever been speaking on a stage and your slides went out. Bob's like, you don't even need to finish the sentence. Or you've seen a speaker get on stage and they're like, I'm ready to give my talk and right, my slides aren't working. I once went to a luncheon and the gal had all of her notes on note cards and they got out of order, and then she lost 3 of them. And then she lost her bleep on the microphone at the front of the room. She's like, do you have my slides, sir? Did you take my note cards? Like, she literally came unhinged at the front of the room, but it was because she didn't know her talk. Okay, that's not criminal, but guess what? I'm going to teach you some super advanced memory techniques. Advanced meaning they give you super memory power. But what I'll tell you is they are really fun and really easy to learn. Woo, woo. So even if you feel like your memory is terrible, or even if you have no idea what I'm talking about, trust me, you do not want to miss tomorrow's bonus evening session. So on that note, I would love to make sure that you spend a moment today and fill out the profit seat formula. That way I can, A, just get to know you better as we go through the event. I can serve you at a higher level, learning a little more about you, your business, and your goals. B, we will have my team reach out to you. If we think you're a good candidate for some live on-the-fly coaching tomorrow evening, we will do a couple of spot talk or profit makeovers. And then again, we'll do that memory power session. It is always one of our most popular sessions every year. So it'll help you feel really confident at the front of the room that you'll know all the points that you want to share, even if the slides bonk out, even if your note cards get out of order, you'll be ready to rock no matter what. If you're excited about that, give me a woot woot in the chat box. And then I have a couple last little tips before I send you off for lunch. Okay. Stay logged in. Now, if you use Zoom in your business like I do on the reg, you know that they recently made a very unwise, unpopular choice of forcing us to have a waiting room, and we cannot turn the waiting room off. And it is super annoying though. But we're going to breathe through it. So if you want to make your life easy, just stay logged in. You can turn your camera off. You can mute your camera like while you're at lunch, but just leave it on. And then that way you don't have to come in and out and worry about getting stuck in the waiting room. We do have our team keeping an eye on it, but we definitely don't want you to get locked out. So there'll be a timer up on the screen for lunch. We've got about 90 minutes-ish, right, Jen? We're going to come back at what time? We're going to come back at 1:30. That gives you plenty of time to stretch your legs, check your email, check on your pets, check on your partner, check on your children. Are they still with us? Are they alive? Are they making it through homeschool? And still come back ready and energized. If you need a little walk, go outside, get some fresh air. This afternoon, we're going to finish up talking about brand. We're going to move into your signature system. We are going to talk about your online brand, like how is this showing up so that people are loving you on social media. And we're going to talk about booking gigs and get you networking within this community this afternoon. Do you want to get to know your brothers and sisters in here? Woo, woo. I see Danny going, Yeah. So there are people in this audience, in this room, who you may want to partner with. You might want to do interviews with. They might promote your course. You might get on their podcast. It's already here for you. So by this afternoon, we're going to get you connecting. On that note, I believe Suzanne Castle, I was handed a message that she booked 2 gigs, 2 or 3. Show me in the camera, 2 or 3, several, 2 gigs today while she's in this event using exactly what I'm going to teach you this afternoon. So get excited, but more importantly, go get fueled up. Have an awesome lunch. Go visit Rose in the sponsor area. Get her special gift. Ask her how she can zhuzh up your style so you can feel fabulous on any platform. And we'll see you back here at 1:30. See you soon.